Good evening, today is June 21st, and welcome to the 4th edition of PowerSlide. In today's edition, we have 3 short stories that we wanted to share with you today. We're just taking a crack at different ways to present the news and see if maybe we can make it into more bite-sized and manageable ways for you to listen. Maybe you're in your car, maybe you're on your phone. We're looking to just change the format, see if we can find better ways to help you see the basics of car news. We hope that this format will be the most pleasing. Anyway, let's get into that first story. In today's first story, the US government has decided to inform consumers that buying electric cars would be cheaper to maintain than internal combustion vehicles, or just gas guzzlers. While many of you people may be saying, no duh, the US Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy wanted to give us an insight on just how much cheaper electric vehicles are compared to regular gas guzzlers. Instead of going through the entire report, the Office of Energy Efficiency came to the conclusion that vehicles with an internal combustion engine cost about 10 cents a mile. Hybrid vehicles come in at about 9 cents a mile, and full battery or EV cars come in at about 6 cents a mile. So what are the reasons why the government came out with this report? Well, you might see that the new male vehicles are coming, and maybe the government is just trying to justify why the US should change over to all electric vehicles for its government fleet. This is indeed the justification for why they want to go that way. They want to switch over to all electric vehicles, and partly the reason of this is to reduce the cost of the government and the cost to operate said machines. To be specific, the government has stated in a report that if they use fully electric vehicles for every government vehicle, that they would save $78 million in maintenance cost. And this could partially be due to fuel savings and also because there's less moving parts in an electric vehicle. In today's second story, and rather a sad story, McLaren shows off cars being smashed in the Philippines. President Rodrigo Duterte, the president of the Philippines, has made it a priority of the government to take care of customs violations. In 2 separate instances, the Philippine government destroyed $1.2 million in cars on June 18th. The Philippines Bureau of Customs stated on Facebook that these events were part of a long-lasting campaign to crack down on illegal car importation. McLaren showed off these cars because there were very expensive cars being destroyed by a backhoe. The president also destroyed an additional $8 million of car in 2018, so this is not very unprecedented. While only the roofs of the cars were smashed, it was also supposed to be a symbolic gesture to discourage the illegal importation of vehicles into the Philippines. The gesture was also meant to show the owner that what would happen to their car if they brought it in illegally, and also have it smashed in front of them if they did do it, and also for the rest of the world to see as well, hence why it was posted on Facebook. Finally, for today's third story, I'm sorry to say that this isn't exactly great news as well, but Volvo has issued a recall for many of their 2019 and 2020 vehicles due to a fuel pump fuse problem. For those of you who know quite a bit about cars, you might see this as a fairly easy recall, because all Volvo has to do is swap out a fuse. But recalling nearly 86,000 cars is still quite shocking. Volvo is recalling these cars to replace a fuse that could lead to a few issues with the fuel pump, and these issues could potentially stall the engine. Volvo has received no reports of injuries or accidents because of this, but nonetheless, they issued a recall because Volvo has received no reports of injuries or accidents because of this, but nonetheless, they issued the recall due to the fact that it could stall many of the engines of many Volvo cars. Volvo has also encouraged people to get those fuses replaced as soon as possible. If your car is included, you should be getting a notification from Volvo on August 1st. Many of the public online forums seem to see this as a very small issue because all it is a replacement of a fuse with a higher density capacitor. Now, if you have a Volvo XC40, Volvo's saying that you're all good to go because that's the only model they're not recalling at the moment. But anyway, everyone, that is all for PowerSlide today. I hope you have a most fantastic day, and if you would like to add anything to these articles, feel free to bring them down in the comments, and make sure to subscribe, like, and have a most wonderful day. Cheers.